everyone, welcome back to my channel, East Bay Stamp Chick. This is Michelle. Today's video is part of the paper stash smash. I always have a hard time with that. Paper stash smash. And if you saw my video on January 1st, I showed what collections I'd be working with this month. And the whole goal is to smash your stash. So I want to use up as much as I can of the two collections that I picked. Hopefully I'll use all of it. This video show is going to be one of a few that's going to show some of the things that I am making with this collection. I'm using Tula and Norbert's Love Story by Becky Moore, which is a Photoplay collection. This is just the top sheet. I've already done a lot of cutting into the collection, so I can't like show you a flip through of all the paper, but if you go back to my other video, you can see that if you want to. But this is what it looks like. It's super cute, and it's one I've had for a little while, and I'm really excited to get to use it. Today's video is super easy. I'm going to show you some cards I made using the cut-aparts. And I am going to, at the end, show you how to make some people call it an infinity shaker card or an edge-to-edge shaker card. There's a lot of different names for it, but I'm going to show you a really easy way to make it because I did make one of those. So let me show you what we've got going. The cut-aparts, find a place to put this paper, here we go, that came with the collection. It had I think it was eight that are like your 3x4s. So I did something really simple with those, and then I am doing the shaker cards with, there were two 4x6s. So I made I believe there's 8 here, and I decided to go with kind of like the postage stamp theme, which I think is super cute, especially for Valentine's, but I love it with anything, Valentine's, Christmas, whatever. But I thought that was really cute idea for this. To make these really easy, I'm using the postage stamp folded die set from the Stamps of Life, and all I'm using out of this, let me show you, this is what the dies look like. The only die that I used is this one right here. So this is meant that you could do an actual card that is shaped like this postage stamp, and this is your outer layer that you would need to use that, and then this is your layering layer. Okay, so you could actually have a postage stamp shaped card, but I just needed this layer because I wanted my cards to just be a normal A2 size card. So that made my postage stamp cut out around the edge, and then these are 3x4 cut aparts. I added a black frame, which was 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. I popped them up on foam tape, and that's it. Super simple. I thought about adding maybe like glitter hearts or something like that to them, you know, ribbon, whatever, but I just really loved how clean the graphic looked, just like this. And kept everything is either, you know, this kind of aqua color or the hot pink. So just really simple, but I thought, oh, these are so cute, and it gave me an immediate 8 Valentine cards. Okay, and you could, you know, definitely write something on here if you wanted. But I thought, oh, these are just super cute, and I don't know that I really need to add any type of like a glitter heart or anything else to them. I like them just the way they are. So I believe that is 8, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, yeah, that's 8 of those. Really easy. There's a whole nother cut apart sheet just like this in the collection kit. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do the same thing with those. I might do something different, but really quick and easy. And then the shaker card. So the 4x6s, I thought it would be really fun to do a 5x7 shaker card. So you can see the little sequins move around. I probably made this just a tiny bit tight. Like I could probably do this a little bit looser to get more movement. But that's a really easy way to make a fun card, and you can see this is not bulky. This could totally go in an envelope if you needed to mail this. Okay, and so this is a 5x7. There was one other 4x6 cut apart on the page. And that's this one right here. Super cute. And so I wanted to show you real quick how to make this into a shaker. And like I said, some people call this an infinity shaker or an edge-to-edge shaker. And a lot of times they'll do the whole entire card front as the shaker versus just this section. And you definitely have that option if you wanted to cut a piece of cardstock to fit the whole front of your card. You could easily do this and do the whole thing a shaker if you wanted to. But I'm just doing the cut apart. So you need whatever you're going to use for your shaker. So we're going to use this really cute little Love gnome cut apart. And you're going to need, I really love like a double-sided tape for this. And so we're going to do all the edges. And glue doesn't really work so great with these because we're going to use cellophane to create our window and our shaker. And so it doesn't really, you know, dry great with that. So the double-sided tape is really good, and you want something that kind of, you know, doesn't have to be super strong, but you want it to be a good tape. The tape runner, I just don't feel like that would be strong enough, honestly. This is a piece of cellophane, and a lot of times what I do is I will go to like a Target, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, whatever, and I'll buy a roll of cellophane that they use to make like baskets or gift wrap or whatever, and then I just, you know, cut pieces off of it as I need to, because sometimes it's on sale and you get it for like less than $5 and you've got that whole roll, and then it's really makes it easy to make a whole bunch of cards whenever you want to. So you're going to put this down, and I know you can't really see it, but you're going to center your cardstock or your cut apart, whatever you're using. I can't really see. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to center this on my piece. I don't know if you can tell, but it's maybe, you know, 1/2 inch all the way around on the sides. And I'm going to take off the tape for the bottom and the 2 sides. And that's it. You're going to leave the top tape up there. Okay, and then I am going to fold up and stick that on. And then I'm going to put another little piece of tape right here in the corner. And you don't have to put it at an angle, you can put it straight, whatever. It's just that those corner, you need to tack those down. And I'm going to peel that off. Get that, oops. I can get it off. There it goes. Okay, and then I'm going to fold over the sides. Okay, now I'm going to take some little scissors here, and I'm going to miter my corner. So I can get rid of some of that bulk. You don't really have to do this, but I just feel like if I do it, it lays a little bit flatter, which I like. Okay, so now I have a pocket here that I can slide my sequins into. And I did wrap this kind of tight, and you could wrap it a little bit looser if you want your sequins to move a little bit more, or whatever you decide to put in there. But you also want to be careful too not to put too many, because then it really doesn't move at all. And I've done that. I have a tendency to put too many sometimes, because I'm like, more is better. So let's check this out. So see, that moves well, so I don't really need more than that. Okay. Now we're going to peel off this final one. Here we go. And I am going to do that again, where I'm going to add an extra piece in the corner so I can catch those really good. There we go. let's peel this off. So these are really easy to make. And if you have cellophane that's maybe from packaging, you know, something that you purchased that you have this extra cellophane wrapper, you can use that, of course. I personally typically buy mine just because I don't want anything that's been scratched. Sometimes cellophane wrappers on stuff you buy has already been dented or scratched, and I don't want that. But if you've got a piece that's really good, then definitely use that. All right, so there we go. How fun is that? So easy. Now to attach this to your card or to the layers, I'm going to do some layers here. You want to use your double-sided tape again, so you can get a really good, so you know, adheres really nicely. And it continues to seal that cellophane. We want to make sure that none of those sequins can leak out, which they really shouldn't be if you put enough tape and you did it, you know, where you caught all the corners. I'm going to put a lot of tape on the back of this just to make sure it lays down really well, because I want it to be nice and flat. So I'm going to put a whole bunch of rows. One of the other things too, sometimes I love to make 5x7 cards, but I've noticed I like to use a lot of glue, which sometimes I'm using too much glue. And it can cause your card to warp, especially if you're having multiple layers like these. And this is kind of my style, is if I do a 5x7 card, whatever is in the center is going to be a 4x6, even if it's multiple pieces of paper or whatever. And it's going to have two borders to get it, you know, to going out. So you have a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 and a 4 1/2 by 6 1/2, and then the 5x7 card. And that's my typical style. But if I use a lot of glue, and especially with all those layers, it can cause the card to warp. So a lot of times I am using double-sided tape or tape runner to adhere those. Maybe not every layer, but some layers. It just depends, you know, what I have going on here. But it helps it to lay flat, especially too, like you're making multiple cards and you don't want to take the time to, you know, put something heavy on top of your card to let it dry, like you're trying to get these assembled, then that can be helpful too. And sometimes also I love using glue because it allows me to kind of move things around to get things centered better, but using your grid can be very helpful as well. So you can lay things down and not worry about getting them as crooked, right? Glue I love because it's wet, it allows me to move things. All right, so now at this point, if I wanted to, I could just do some tape runner. I don't have to do, or your wet glue, you can do wet glue too, but I don't have to do the double-sided tape. I'm just gonna put some tape runner, make sure I get this on there good. I don't want it falling apart. So like I said, this is a 4x6 card, cut apart, and the border is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then the next border is 4 1/2 by 6 1/2, and then this is my 5x7 card base. On my smaller cards, like my A2 cards, like the first ones I showed you, I always use wet glue. I don't have an issue with warping, and I think that's because they're smaller. But these are a bigger card, and even though I will use like 110-pound paper for the base, you still run into some warping issues sometimes because I think of the size. Okay. So there you go. Here's my card. I could stamp something inside or write. Got a little shake, shake, shake. And, you know, there's some space if I wanted to add an additional, you know, cardstock stamped piece of like Happy Valentine's Day or whatever. I totally could, but I kind of like this clean and simple look that this has. I love the colors. So now, with one sheet of cut-aparts, I have 10 really quick and easy Valentine Day cards. All right, so these can be really fun, especially if maybe you have a child that you wanted to do some fun cards for them to give away, or you like to give a lot of cards to some friends and family for Valentine's. This is a really quick and easy way to do it. So cute. Love the gnomes. So anyways, that is my first project with this paper pack, Love Story by Photoplay. And so you're going to be seeing a few more projects so I can get this all used up. All right. Thanks a lot for joining me today. And don't forget to check out the first video on January 1st, Paper Stash Smash, if you haven't, to check out and see what we're doing. And there's a whole list of all the collaborators. So if you want to see what everybody's doing and all the cute paper collections they're using, you can check them out there. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.